Welcome to Tuck. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Inuvik. They have a nice little visitor center that I already visited this morning, but it was really loud with landscaping happening, so didn't do any walk and talk there. But nice little visitor center. She gave me the lowdown, and they're having a little arts and crafts and food street fair thing today that we're gonna go visit. But first, I'm just driving around town getting kind of a lay of the land, and the first thing I happened upon is this cool church. The church looks like an igloo, kind of a famous landmark around here. It's one that certainly stands out. But I'm gonna hop back in the car because it is cold this morning. I might need to actually break out my coat. My first goal is just to get a little lay of the land, figure out where the grocery stores are, figure out where that little street fair is, and see what there is to see. Grocery store on the right. We'll be going there. I want to go to the little market first, though. Just like in Dead Horse, all of the buildings here are built above the ground to protect the permafrost. First in search of is the gas station, which is behind the grocery store. I think this must be it. Bob's Gas. Gas stations are a little bit different around here. It is $2.25 a liter, and that's pretty steep, but not unexpected. Fortunately, I only needed about half of a tank, because that's steep. It's gonna get steeper. I imagine that once we get to Tuck, that it's gonna be a lot. I'm not gonna be here in the evening, but that yellow bus is a food truck, a stationary food truck that apparently has some good stuff and is recommended by a lot of people, but they don't open till 5. I definitely need to dig out my coat because it's cold out there today. But so I've got fried chicken and little spring rolls. It seemed like a good idea on a cold day, and I think this is a good idea. I also got a donut. So donuts are a thing around here. Kind of in the way Navajo fry bread is a thing in the Southwest US. Donuts are a thing here. When the fur traders and the whaling people came in to this area, they brought flour and stuff like that. And the Gwich'in used flour to make yummy donuts. Stopped at this little gas station here because they have cool stickers. I'm on a Dempster Highway Facebook group, and somebody on that group posted this little store and said, go here for these stickers. And so I did, because they're good stickers. We're gonna get some stickers once we get to Tuck as well. Just wandering around town and found the river. There's dirt roads that go back on either side. It looks like you might be able to find a good camp spot along the river. And I don't see any of those marked on iOverlander, but that looks like some place you could camp. And I just spotted this old abandoned boat in the shrubbery. Let's check it out. I suspect it's been abandoned here for a while. I can't really see in there. This would definitely be a location where the local teenagers come to party. So maybe not the best idea for camping because it might get a little obnoxious. You also get a cool view of a little bit of the town and that pipe running there. The pipes are part of Inuvik's Utilidor program, which is where they have all of their utilities running through conduit and corridors that are above ground to protect the permafrost. The metal pipe is a new portion of the utilidors. They're kind of replacing them with these bulky buildings and putting them in these metal pipes. And apparently it's going to be really expensive for them to complete the project, like $80 million to replace their old utility corridors with new ones. This appears to be more kind of riverside road. And another boat launch. I don't know where this road goes. We're just driving down it. Is that a houseboat? I think that's a houseboat. This is one of the old utilidors. I've been puttering around a lot. It's time to get some groceries. Prices are a little eye-watering. They've got all the things. Besides a grocery store, it's like a little department store, and they've got a KFC, so everything you need. I've gotten my groceries, I've gotten my gas. I had a yummy lunch at the little local fair. Those donuts are really good. I'm definitely going to be getting donuts on my way back down. And I think it's time to get to Tuk. Inuvik is a really cool, very unique little town. It's got 3,000 people-ish, and everything's very utilitarian because it's hard to do kind of decorative stuff here, except for obviously that igloo-shaped church. It still has its own little unique style that really fits it. From Inuvik, Tuktoyaktuk, Tuk is 148 kilometers. It's kind of interesting that we are pretty close to the Arctic Ocean and Arctic tundra, but we're still in the trees. 110 miles from Tuk, and the terrain is starting to open up, and the trees are becoming much more sparse and the vegetation a lot lower. I don't know if I have it in camera because it's really far away, but the lump out there in the ground, I think is a pingo, which is a spring that builds up ice and plant matter and makes these little mounds in the Arctic tundra. They're just kind of cool. But I find it very interesting how different this tundra is to the tundra just over on the Dalton. This area was not glaciated, and so it has just these lovely rolling hills that are much less sharp than the hills on the Dalton, much smaller hills as well, and it's dotted with lakes instead of rivers. This is very exciting. Tuk is just starting to appear in the distance. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Out in the distance is a pingo. It's probably the most well-known pingo close to Tuk. Welcome to Tuk. First thing you go by getting to Tuk is the city dump, which they can't really hide behind a hill because besides the pingos, there are no hills. So it's an interesting welcome. And then it looks like on the right are oil and gas facilities. Obviously they're not huge giant facilities like there were in Dead Horse, but I'm guessing that's oil and gas. So what else would be out here? First mission is to find the visitor center so I can secure a camping spot. There are only 2 places to camp in town, and we need one. And I would prefer the one that's right on the Arctic Ocean. All right, Visitor Information Center, easy enough to find. It's right as you roll into town. I have secured a campsite and a map because it's a little bigger town than I actually thought it was, at least from what it looked like in my prior research. So let's go to camp. I hope I turned the right way at that intersection. I did not. Authorized personnel only. Restricted area, but the road keeps going. But that doesn't look like a well-used road. So I'm turning around. All right, small town, already getting lost in it. I guess one thing to know about me is I could get lost in a paper bag. But here's the thing. I've seen some cool stuff when I've gotten lost. So we are definitely on the right track now. That's a cool little weird building there. I like it. Oh, the town cemetery. We'll be exploring that. Okay, we have found the campground. There are a lot of people here. All right, I did some leveling. Let me see if my electric cord will reach. Yes, plenty of reach for the electric cord. Hook, y'all. That is the Arctic Ocean. And yes, I'm totally gonna dunk in the Arctic Ocean, but not here. This is not a swimming area, obviously, with this big berm of rocks, but that's the Arctic Ocean. And this is a really unstable rock I'm standing on, so I'm gonna get off of it. I can make it move just with one foot. We're gonna do some stuff around Tuk tomorrow, including jumping in the Arctic Ocean, but I think that's it for today. I'm gonna get camp set up real quick and I'm hopping in bed. We'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody, from my lovely camp spot on the Arctic Ocean in Tuktoyaktuk. And let's go take a walk. It's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. It's supposed to get up to about 60 degrees today. So, not too cold. We're not there yet at the 60-degree mark, but it should get warmer and a little sunnier. I'll bring the Jeep out here later for photo ops. But we have truly made it to the Arctic Ocean. And you haven't truly made it until you get to that side. Like in all the regions with permafrost, the buildings are set up off the ground to protect the permafrost and to protect the buildings, because as the permafrost kind of freezes and melts and freezes and melts, you would have massive frost heave. So putting everything on pilings keeps it in place a little better. This is a traditional sod house. Wonder if you can go in. Probably not. It's got locks. Yeah, it's locked. But you can go in this one. This one isn't covered. Oh, this one's in a little disrepair. I wonder what that sign says. It probably says something like, "Don't come in here." Let's go look at the sign from the other side before I decide to walk in there. Okay. Well, the sign doesn't say anything, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's not the safest structure to walk into. Looks like they might be restoring it, but it doesn't look super safe right at this moment. That is the town grocery store, which is closed today. I kind of wanted to go in there and get some creamer because I have to get creamer, but it's closed. Something I find really interesting, and maybe it's just today and yesterday, but it doesn't smell like the sea here. I think this is the first time I've been on an ocean and I can't smell the scent of the ocean. I mean, the wind is blowing offshore, but even then, usually you can smell the salty water. Can't smell it. It smells like just nothing. Just an observation. You should know that the weather is not that warm. It's around 60 degrees, but there's a breeze blowing. The water is not warm either. I dipped a toe in. It's kind of glacial water temperature. And I'm steeling myself up to get in there.
Sometimes you just gotta dunk.